Ali had never liked visiting his uncle's old house in the countryside. It was big, silent, and had too many corners that swallowed the light. But when his uncle invited the entire family to stay for a week during winter break, refusing wasn't an option. His cousins were excited, the adults were relieved to escape the city noise, and Ali simply forced a smile and went along. The house was built in the 1970s, its wooden floors groaned with every step, and its long, narrow hallways always felt colder than the rest of the place. The locals said the house was haunted, that something walked the halls at night, but Ali's uncle always laughed it off. The family arrived in the late afternoon. Fog hung over the hills, and the wind brushed against the trees like someone dragging their fingernails across wood. Ali shivered as soon as he stepped out of the car, though the cold wasn't the only reason. His room was at the far end of the upstairs hallway. Isolated. Quiet. Too quiet. Still, he arranged his things, plugged in his phone, and tried to distract himself with games while his cousins played downstairs. They were loud, carefree, and annoyingly happy, exactly how Ali wished he felt. That night, after dinner, the adults stayed downstairs chatting. His cousins slowly drifted off to sleep in the guest room, leaving only the dull hum of the heater echoing through the old house. Ali finally fell asleep sometime after midnight. A distant thud woke him. Soft. Slow. Almost like footsteps. Ali rubbed his eyes and sat up. The digital clock blinked 12:54 a.m. He listened again. Thud. 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 The sound wasn't coming from downstairs. It was coming from the hallway. Ali's throat tightened. It's probably the heater, he whispered to himself. But heaters didn't walk. He swung his legs off the bed, hesitated, then grabbed his empty glass. He wasn't thirsty, but checking the kitchen would give him a reason to turn on the lights, to make sure the hallway was empty. The moment he opened his door, a cold gust of air brushed past him. The hallway light flickered. Ali froze. At the far end of the hallway stood a small figure. A little girl. Her back was turned. Long black hair fell past her shoulders. She wore an old-fashioned white dress old enough to look almost yellow in the dim hallway light. Ali's heartbeat slammed against his ribs. He recognized all his cousins. This wasn't any of them. "Hello," he whispered. The girl didn't move. Ali stepped back, gripping the doorknob so tightly his fingers turned numb. Slowly, gently, the girl tilted her head, as though listening to something. Then she moved, not turning, not stepping, just shifting slightly, like something adjusting a puppet. Ali's breath caught. He stepped back into his room and shut the door quietly, then pressed his ear to the wood. Footsteps. Slow, dragging, uneven. Coming toward his door. Ali clamped a hand over his mouth. Tap. 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 Her fingernails. They were tapping against his door. Ali didn't move. After a few long seconds, everything went silent. He waited. And waited. Finally, when he gathered enough courage to peek into the hallway again, the girl was gone. But the cold remained. The next morning, the house felt normal again. Sunlight filtered through the windows. Birds chirped outside. His cousins screamed and argued over breakfast cereal. Ali tried to convince himself that he had been half asleep, maybe dreaming. But when he mentioned the girl casually, his uncle's expression shifted. "You must have seen Alina sleepwalking," he said quickly. Alina was 6, one of his youngest cousins. But Ali had seen Alina that morning. She was tiny and bright and cheerful. The girl in the hallway had longer hair, different posture, and that old-fashioned dress. It wasn't her. Maybe, Ali replied, though he didn't believe it. But the adults didn't want to hear any ghost stories. So Ali stayed quiet. Still, Throughout the day, he kept noticing strange things. The hallways were colder than the rooms. The upstairs lights flickered randomly. Once, he thought he heard whispering near the staircase, soft, like someone reciting words backward. A shadow moved past the hallway when no one was there. But he tried to ignore it. The second night would make that impossible. Ali tried to sleep early. He pulled the blanket over himself and left the hallway light on, shining faintly through the bottom crack of the door. But the house woke him again. This time, it wasn't footsteps. It was crying. Soft, broken sobs echoed from the hallway. Ali pushed himself up, heart racing. The crying grew louder. He stood up slowly and reached for the doorknob, ready to run to his cousin's room or call for help. When he opened the door, the sound abruptly stopped. Dead silence. The hallway light flickered once, twice, then steadied. Ali hesitated, then stepped into the cold hallway. Something shifted in the corner of his vision. There near the other end of the hallway, stood the girl again. But tonight, she wasn't facing away. She was looking directly at him. Her face was pale, almost grey, with hollow black eyes. Her mouth stretched into a too wide smile. It looked wrong. Unnatural. As if it had been carved into her face. Ali froze. The girl tilted her head slightly. "You're not supposed to see me yet," she whispered. Ali stumbled backward, tripping over his own feet. He crawled into his room and slammed the door shut. He pressed his back to the wood, trembling. Tap. 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 She was tapping on the other side again. But this time, she spoke. Ali. The voice was soft. Sweet. Mocking. "Do you want to play?" Ali held his breath. Then the tapping stopped. When he finally found enough courage to check, she was gone again. But something had changed. On the floor, just outside his door, lay a small shoe. A child's shoe. Old. Dirty. Covered in dust. He didn't touch it. The next morning, Ali finally approached his uncle. "There's something wrong with this house," he said quietly. His uncle paused, then sighed. "I didn't want to tell you kids," he said. "But, something did happen here." Ali tensed. 10 years ago, a family lived here. They had a little daughter. She disappeared without a trace. Ali swallowed. How old was she? 7. The same age as the girl he saw. They never found her. Not even her body. Some people say her spirit still walks the halls. Ali shivered. His uncle placed a hand on his shoulder. "But these are just stories. Don't let your imagination build monsters." Ali nodded, but deep inside, he knew what he had seen wasn't imagination. That night, he wasn't going to sleep alone. He tried to join his cousins in their room, but they pushed him out, complaining there wasn't enough space. Ali ended up back in his room. Alone again. Ali left his lamp on. He left the hallway light on. He even placed a chair against the door, though he knew it wouldn't matter. He lay awake for hours, listening. At 3:11 a.m., the lights flickered. Ali sat up. At 3:12 a.m., the temperature dropped sharply. His breath fogged in the air. Then. Creak. The chair against the door moved. Slowly. As if someone was pushing it from outside. Ali grabbed his phone, but it froze on the lock screen. The time wouldn't change. The buttons wouldn't respond. "Please no," he whispered. The door slowly opened, inch by inch. The girl stood there. Not smiling now. Not crying. Just watching him with empty, hollow eyes. "You see me now," she whispered. Ali backed against the wall. "What do you want?" The girl stepped into the room. Her movements were jerky, unnatural, like a puppet being pulled by invisible strings. Her voice came out cracked and layered, like many voices speaking through one throat. "I want you to stay with me." Ali shook his head violently. "No, please." The girl took another step. The floorboards under her creaked loudly. "Why me?" Ali choked out. The girl stopped. Her expression softened for the first time. "You're the only one who noticed me," she whispered. Her voice was sad. Lonely. Broken. "I've been here a long time, no one sees me. No one talks to me. They walk through me like I'm nothing." Ali's fear twisted into something else. Pity. But the moment he stepped forward, her expression changed again, dark, furious. "You should not have seen me," she hissed. Her shadow grew larger behind her, stretching, twisting, rising like smoke. Ali stumbled backward, hitting his bed. The girl's face twisted again into that wide, unnatural smile. Her voice echoed around the room. "You will stay with me." She lunged. Ali screamed. The lights burst. Darkness swallowed the room. When the family woke up, Ali's room was empty. The window was open. The curtains fluttered in the cold wind. They searched the house. They searched the woods. They called his name until their voices broke. No one found him. But his phone was lying on the bed. The last photo taken, at 3:13 a.m., showed the hallway. And at the far end, barely visible in the darkness, stood a little girl holding someone's hand. The hand belonged to Ali. He was staring directly at the camera, eyes wide with terror. His face pale. Frozen. As if the life had been pulled out of him. People say the house is empty now. But sometimes, late at night, neighbors claim to hear footsteps. Soft. Slow. Uneven. And children walking past the house swear they see two silhouettes standing in the upstairs hallway. A little girl in a white dress. And a boy beside her. His mouth stretched into a silent scream. Forever trapped. Forever seen. If you like the video, then subscribe now.